Good morning. I'm Brian Nielsen with the Washington State Department of Transportation. It's Briannnielsen.
Al Sanders, Public Information Officer for King County Metro. ALSANDERS.
John Gallagher, Public Information Officer, Sound Transit, JOHNGALLAGHER.
Hi there, I'm John Laser with the Seattle Department of Transportation. Spelling is Jon, last name Laser, Layzer. Thanks.
I'm Dave Becker with Washington State Department of Transportation. That's BECHER. I'm with the 520 program, the Director of Construction.
Susan Gregg with UW Medicine.
So, Brian, you can go ahead and just kick us off, and then we'll open it up for questions after
All right, thanks. Good morning and welcome. Thank you to our media partners for coming out today and helping us get the word out about our upcoming project on the Montlake Bridge. From August 9th to September 3rd, we're going to have the Montlake Bridge closed to all vehicular traffic. This is a 26-day around-the-clock closure. 60,000 vehicles typically travel across the Montlake Bridge each day. We expect to see backups during the closure, so we're asking that people think about that, prepare and plan ahead for the work. Consider transit options, light rail, carpool, walk or roll. The bridge will be open for pedestrian access throughout the closure. We do need the public's help in planning for this work. Need to think about your travel options and help us reduce delays that are likely to occur, particularly if we all try to use the bridge as usual. During this closure, our contractor Hamilton Construction will be replacing the metal bridge deck on the bridge. This deck is 23 years old, and as it ages, we're seeing more and more failures. Pieces of the deck are breaking. With each one of those failures, our contractor or our maintenance crews need to come out and do an emergency repair on the bridge, and that often requires closures during the commute periods. And so we need to replace this bridge deck for the long-term health of both the bridge and our commuters. The bridge is a vital connection between the U District and the Montlake neighborhood and points beyond that. And so again, it's a vital time for us to replace this bridge deck. During this closure, we've partnered with the SR 520 Montlake Interchange Project. They're going to be doing work in the vicinity of the Montlake Market. We're partnering with them to reduce the total number of disruptions to the community. So we'll have both projects impacting traffic during that time. We're working closely with our partners in the neighborhood, the University of Washington, UW Hospital, and Children's Hospital, as well as emergency services, to make sure that we are coordinated in providing access to those neighbors as needed. And we're also working closely with our transportation partners, SDOT, King County Metro, and Sound Transit, to help spread the word and to provide options for folks to move through the area during this work. And with that, I think we turn it to Mr. Al Sanders with Metro.
Good morning. Once again, Al Sanders with King County Metro. Our first emphasis, our first comment is we know this is a vital link for many riders. We're going to ask for their patience as we make our reroutes around the construction. There are 8 routes. They carry thousands of riders. Even with the current conditions, we expect even more riders to come on as people start returning to the office. So this closure will impact the routes. There are 2 city routes that come down through the Montlake neighborhood. Those will be rerouted. One will be rerouted actually onto Broadway Avenue. It will completely avoid its regular route for the duration of the work. The other one will be taking the route it takes when the bridge is up for the opening of boating season. So people will need to understand and bring their patience for that. There are several east side routes that come across from 520 and exit onto the Montlake Bridge. Several of those will continue on to Portage Bay and exit onto surface streets. For those who do not want to take the scenic route into the University District or into downtown Seattle, we recommend that you transfer to the Metro Routes 257, the Metro Route 311, or the Sound Transit Routes 545 at the Evergreen Point Freeway Station. For those who need more information, you can always get transit alerts and service advisories at kingcounty.gov/metro. We look forward to getting people where they need to go during this interesting time during the repairs. Now I'm going to pass it off to John Gallagher with Sound Transit.
Thanks, Al. So just north of the Montlake Bridge is the UW Link Light Rail Station. It is a fast, efficient option for people who are looking to avoid any complications during this period. You can be downtown in less than 10 minutes. You can be at SeaTac Airport in about 50 minutes. It's a great option at any time. It's a particularly great option during this time. We really are encouraging people to think about that during this period. We're also reminding folks on any transit option to wear a mask. It remains a federal requirement to do so. We will have one of our routes affected by this closure. It's the ST Express Route 542, which comes from Redmond and runs into UW. Al mentioned the detour options that are going to be happening for that, or the opportunity to transfer to another express bus route, the 545. At any time, transit remains a great option if you're trying to avoid traffic. It's fast, it's efficient, people can take advantage of it and avoid the complications from the closure. Thanks.
I apologize, I wasn't sure of the order of speakers. Again, I'm John Laser, Seattle Department of Transportation. I want to first take the opportunity to thank WashDOT for finding the money to do this important work. Bridges, by their nature, are critical links in our transportation system, and the repeated and unscheduled maintenance that WashDOT has to do is some of the most disruptive type of work that we have to do in our system. So doing this major maintenance now and giving ourselves some breathing room is really critical and important, and we're glad to be working with WashDOT to support them in this. As Brian mentioned, this bridge before the pandemic was carrying 60,000 daily trips. Those trips are going to go somewhere in the network, and so we do expect congestion. So we really urge people to plan ahead. Check out SDOT traffic before you go for real-time traffic alerts and other information. We ask people to be patient and to take some extra time for their trips. And more than ever, pay attention to the signage and the indications on the road to keep everybody safe. And that's whether you're driving or riding a bike or walking. We really need everybody to take care of each other during this time. Our SDOT's Transportation Operations Center is open 24/7, monitoring traffic on the city streets. And again, the best way to get information about what's going on the network is through SDOT traffic. And you can either get there you can get a Twitter link and real-time news alerts, or you can find a map and information online. And finally, we have done some work to limit construction on some of the key detour routes for vehicles or for transit, but we still do expect congestion. So again, asking people to plan ahead, be patient, and give yourself some extra time if possible when you're making new trips. Thank you.
Hey, UW Medicine, I'm Susan Gregg. We just want to make sure everyone knows that UW Medical Center Montlake and our nearby clinics will be fully open and ready as we always are. We ask that people plan ahead, and as mentioned before, light rail is a great option, bicycles, pedestrians can get on the bridge. And we also encourage people to go to our website for more information on the closure and then links to other transportation options. You know, we're here for everybody's healthcare needs, and that will remain the same. Thank you.
We can open it up for questions if you like. If you have a specific speaker you want to hear more from.
What was? May I ask you a couple of? Yeah. What was the timing of the closure? For instance, did anyone not think to do this work during the pandemic when everybody was home?
We would have loved to have done this work last year when traffic volumes were down from where they are today, but we of course didn't plan for the pandemic, and at that time we were still in the design for this project. Takes years really to put a complicated project like this together, so we were unable to advance that work.
So, just a couple of clarifications. The bridge will still be open to pedestrians and bicyclists, or is it just closed to cars, or is it going to be closed to everybody?
During the 26-day closure from August 9th to September 3rd, the bridge will be open to pedestrian and bicycle traffic. We're going to keep one sidewalk and maybe both open at all times. In any case, there will be a route across the bridge for pedestrians and bicycles.
Can you also elaborate on, I know you spoke about this before, but just again about kind of the dire condition of the bridge and why this work is so important?
Sure. The bridge deck here on the Montlake Bridge is it's a metal grid deck, and that grid deck is 23 years old, and so with age we're seeing more and more failures. Pieces of the bridge deck break. Each time that happens, they need to be repaired. We've about 7 times already this year we've had to close at least a lane or more of the bridge. That often happens during commute periods. As the bridge ages, it's only going to get worse, and so now is the time to replace this bridge deck.
Is the replacement bridge deck the same sort of design? Is a 20, 23-year lifespan sort of normal for this kind of bridge, or are things going to be kind of the same?
The deck itself is the same design, but we are adding additional steel support that underneath the deck itself, so it should be more durable and last longer this time.
Is the bridge, in a sense, dangerous to commuters in the state it's in, or is it just normal wear and tear?
It's more of a normal wear and tear type of thing. When the failures happen, it usually creates more or less like a pothole that you would see on a concrete bridge deck. But as that pothole grows, obviously it becomes more concerning. So when we do detect a failure, we do feel we need to get out and replair that under an emergency, often again during commute periods.
Does the schedule take into account contingencies where something might happen that you don't foresee and it could last longer, or is that built into the schedule?
So our plan is to get as much work as we can done during this 26-day closure. Ideally, we get the entire deck replaced. In the event that we need more time, we will continue work on weekends through the fall. We have identified 5 weekends in the fall so far, and I'm sorry I don't know what those dates are off the top of my head. They do not conflict with Husky games. And so we'll continue the work through the fall if needed. I should correct that. We will continue the work through the fall. There's actually 2 phases going on. We're here today talking about this 26-day closure in August. But we're also doing mechanical rehabilitation of the mechanical structure of the bridge. So we'll be using those weekends in the fall in any case.
But you don't see any delays as far as beginning of school?
That's correct. As far as this 24-hour weekday closure goes, we will start on the 9th and we will have it cleared in time for the commute on the 3rd.
About the ballpark budget on this?
It's about a $7 million contract.
And Is the bridge still going to be operational for tall boats and things like that, or will boaters need to sort of, very tall boats have to sort of plan around it as well?
The ship canal will remain available for boat traffic during the closure.
So it'll go up and down.
Our general approach is to have one leaf up during the work. I'm sorry, that's not possible because we have pedestrian access.
Yeah.
We are required under our Coast Guard permit to keep boat traffic. The one leaf up, I think, is our approach on weekends when we're doing the mechanical work. There's my confusion there, I apologize. Pardon me? Great.
And since you're working 24/7, it could be done earlier.
Yeah, there's a possibility we could finish early, but I really don't expect that. We're expecting to take the full 26 days for the deck work, and it probably will extend into the fall.